Alright guys, welcome back. Tonight I want to do an update video on one of my guns that I get asked about all the time, and that is my Glock 43. Now I'm always getting private messages, emails from guys wanting to know, what have I done to this thing? What are my recommended upgrades? So that's something I want to touch base on tonight. Now I've owned this Glock 43 for about 2 years now, and I've carried it most of those 2 years, and honestly guys, this is my most carried gun. Now that's for a number of different reasons, and yes, I do have a rotation where I carry, my CZ-P10C, a couple different Glock 19s, but the Glock 43 definitely sees the most carry time. Now let's go ahead and do a quick rundown on some of the upgrades I've done to this gun. The first thing I did to this gun was change the sights. Now when I first got my Glock 43, I put some True Glow TFOs on there, ran those for about 1.5 years, and really didn't have too many issues with them. I did start to crack the rear fiber optic where it stuck out of the rear sight just a little bit, but they're perfectly fine. I actually still have them, but I went ahead and upgraded to the True Glow TFXs. Now I do have a video out on the True Glow TFXs. I think they are great sights. I will go ahead and leave a link to that above. And yes, I own Trijicon HDs, Trijicon HDXRs, XS sights, and these True Glows. And honestly guys, the True Glows are pretty high up on my scale anyways of awesome sights for concealed carry. Now the next thing I went ahead and did to this Glock 43 was a stipple job. This was actually like the second Glock I stippled, and I feel like it came out very, very well. Now I personally don't know how to do recessed borders or none of that fancy stuff, but I feel like it came out pretty damn good. I'm usually getting guys that message me saying, hey, could I send my gun to you to stipple? And no, I don't have an FFL, but in my opinion, I'm not that good at stippling anyways. I got the job done, it looks good, and that's all that matters to me. Next upgrade I did to my Glock 43 was the Streamlight TLR6. I've had this TLR6 for about 1.5 years now, and it has just been a great light. Look how thin that thing is, and it doesn't protrude the barrel. This thing just adds no bulk whatsoever and really doesn't add any weight to the gun. In my opinion, the TLR6 is the best light out there for the 43 or say Smith & Wesson Shield. But once you get into like the Glock 19 size guns, I personally would steer more towards like an Inforce APLC or something of that sort. That's easily became my favorite weapon light for compact size guns. But the TLR6 is a great light if you have a Glock 43 or a Smith & Wesson Shield. After the TLR6, the next upgrade I made was this Agency Arms flat face trigger. Now when I ordered this Agency trigger, I also ordered a trigger from Agency for my Glock 19. Now what I found with these two triggers was that the Glock 19 trigger wasn't nearly as nice as this Glock 43 trigger. And let me show you why this trigger setup is one of my favorite Glock trigger setups. So we have absolutely no take up whatsoever and a very crisp break. This is easily one of my favorite triggers. Now I know some guys do frown upon upgrading the trigger in your carry guns, but I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. So the next thing I did was the Hive Industries extended mag release. The Glock 43 Hive mag release is great. I don't know if you guys can see, but it just barely sticks out a little bit more than the factory mag release. It is metal, it is textured a lot nicer than the factory Glock mag release. But when you get into the Hive mag release for a Glock 19, or at least the Gen 4 mag release, it sticks out a ton, and honestly, if you lay this gun down on its side, the mag will pop out. So that's just something to be leery of. I've never had this mag pop out while carrying it, but that is just something to pay attention to. Now moving on to base pads, and with a gun the size of the Glock 43, I definitely recommend at least running a +1. Right now I'm running an NDZ +2 base pad on here, bringing the magazine up to 8 rounds, +1 in the chamber, so 9 rounds in the gun isn't so bad, and especially if you carry an extra magazine. Now for times that I need to absolutely conceal this, and this is the lowest capacity I'll go when carrying this gun, is running a Hive +1. Now I have a couple of these Hive +1s, they've always functioned great, bringing this magazine to 7 rounds, 1 in the chamber, and then running a spare mag with a +2. Now just real quick, I want to point out NDZ went ahead and laser engraved Glock Guide 226 on this particular base pad as well as a few others, and then they made me this custom slide plate that says Glock Guide 226 as well. So a big shout out to those guys. Now the most recent upgrade I have made to this Glock 43 is this True Precision barrel. Now this barrel is dimpled, it is threaded, and it is in their Spectrum color, which is like this chameleon rainbow type color. All in all, I think it's a pretty cool fit for this gun. Now I do have a video out on this True Precision barrel. I will go ahead and link that above. So now that we covered the upgrades, let's talk a little bit about why my Glock 43 is my most carried gun. Right off the bat, and this is like 99% of it, it's a single stack gun that is slim and compact, and I can conceal this thing 100% of the time. Now besides that, the biggest thing with the Glock 43 is it just works. It's reliable. It wasn't meant to be a pretty gun. I know a lot of guys think Glocks are ugly, and when I first got into guns, I honestly thought Glocks were very, very ugly, but once I started realizing how reliable they were, I started shooting them, I really fell in love with them. Now, don't get me wrong, I am starting to get into a lot of other guns. I'm not just the biggest Glock fan in the world. If you don't like Glocks and you like something else, that's good with me. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. But personally, I know how reliable this gun is. I know how reliable my other Glocks are. So it's just something I do trust my life to, and I do choose to carry them. The next thing would be capacity. Now for a gun of this size, getting 9 rounds in the gun really isn't that bad. Especially when I have a backup mag with an extra 8 rounds. I feel a little bit better with the size of this gun, knowing that I have a decent amount of firepower with me. And yes, I know when I have my Glock 19 in a spare mag, I have 30 rounds on me. So that is a lot better, but for my personal situation, I'm allowed to carry at work. It just has to be concealed 100%. So the Glock 43 lets me do that, but I also feel like this gun is still big enough for me to shoot very, very well. It is big enough to fight with if I had to do that. It's not like carrying an LCP2 or something, you know, that my pinky's hanging off and I just can't shoot worth a crap. I can honestly shoot this Glock 43 just as good as I could shoot any of my other full-size guns. The Glock 43 has really become like an extension of my body. Most of the time I really don't even realize it's there, and a lot of that's due to a quality belt and a quality holster. But guys, the Glock 43 has easily became my favorite carry gun. Those are just a few of the reasons. I feel like I can go on and on about the Glock 43, but I'm gonna get out to the range, get some more range footage with the 43 here soon, maybe do some ammo testing, just something to make some more content with the Glock 43. So that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate all your support. Sorry if my voice is a little rasp. I'm kind of losing my voice with this winter weather. But please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.